Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we are back. There are things to talk about. I wouldn't say plenty, but there are things. Look, if you're listening to this episode, are we going to talk about the Superman trailer or did we record this before it came out? The answer is we pushed it back so that we could make sure we saw the trailer. So we are going to get to that. It's a short show because that's what everybody wants to talk about anyway. Let's knock it off. All right. Checked out. Micah, you watched Jamie Foxx's new stand-up. What had happened was?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's less of a stand-up and more of a funny TED Talk. As funny as a TED Talk can be. It's kind of like Nathaniel, where, you know, Jamie Foxx, he comes on and he basically talks about what happened to him. And, you know, he talks about his stroke. And he was very, very emotional, you know, stopping to kind of take a cry break every you know, few minutes or so.
Really?
And yeah, he was like Carl Thomas in that motherfucker. He was he was emotional.
I understood that reference.
And but it's not a very funny stand-up. You know, it's if you want to know what happened to him from his mouth, then, you know, you can watch it. But it wasn't really anything, you know, special. He's still a funny guy. I still think Jamie Foxx is one of the world's best jack of all trades, a Renaissance man when it comes to entertainment. And he lets you know about it in that special because he kind of goes through. There's this one bit about like people think I'm a clone, right? People think I'm a clone, and he was like, and then he goes through like his greatest hits. And it's like a clone couldn't bring you, you know, this. A clone couldn't bring you this. A clone couldn't bring you this. And he goes all the way back from his.
Well, yeah, that wasn't the clone. You're the clone, nigga. What are you talking about? So, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right. Our point there, Jamie.
But it was interesting. But if you just want to know what happened, you know, you could probably just watch some clips. Or you could watch the whole thing if you're a huge fan of Jamie Foxx. But
how long is it?
It's an hour, and it's not. You know, if you can get through like a Hassan Minaj type of special, then you can get through this.
Okay, I watched his last special anyway. Which I thought was all right.
Who's Hassan Minaj?
Yeah, Hassan Minaj.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but
no, I know
but it's that type of thing where he is less telling jokes and more being a funny storyteller.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that's fair. All right, so
I watched Ellen DeGeneres' last stand-up about 3 weeks ago. It was fine.
She used to be hilarious.
She was a very good guest back in the day.
Yeah, she's just a old white woman that drives a Subaru.
I mean,
it's a lesbian joke, guys. Like, I don't know what she drives. It was fine. Like, there was some funny moments, but overall,
she used to be the shit back in the day. She was fucking super popular. Micah, you went to the theaters and took your son to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Oh no,
I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to get ready for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which I will be taking him to next week because I got to do something with him. No, he liked the first one.
Being a dad.
He liked the first one, and he said he liked the second one. I can never tell. I don't know my kid. I'm a poor father. No, he said he liked it. It's a kid's movie, and it's really silly. And you know, this is how you could tell I love my son because we were a Nintendo household. We were not a we were not a Genesis, household.
Oh, so you were so you weren't a Sega does what Nintendo
don't. Right? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
An old reference, folks.
Yeah,
fucking old.
That was their marketing campaign, guys. That was their marketing campaign.
Blast processing didn't mean a goddamn thing because Super Nintendo was a vastly superior system.
Right.
Honestly, technologically it was a superior. Because first of all, it came out later.
Right. But
anyway.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate Sonic the Hedgehog growing up or his shitty ass platformers. Platforming requires precision jumping, not fucking zooming through a level and speeding past the fucking platforms. Like it's not a platform at that. Like, what the fuck are we doing, yo?
I mean, I will get. I like the Sonic games, but yes, you're 100% correct. There is no precision jumping whatsoever.
Right. Like, what the fuck?
All loosey-goosey. It was very much.
Anyway, it was cute. It was cute. I don't know if I would sit through it again, but I look, that's the Jim Carrey show. If you want to see Jim Carrey be wacky and shit, this is him. That's why I'm kind of excited to see Sonic 3.
He's playing just two characters in the second one.
Right. He's playing two of them.
Yeah.
It's like, what more can we do? Right. So, and Idris Elba was Knuckles, and he plays Knuckles like, in the Drax way.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Just like hyper, no metaphors, hyper literal, it's been done, but now Idris Elba's doing it. And Tails, Miles Prower, get it?
I love that. I'm sorry. That to me is
I love that fucking pun. It's funny, man.
I hate puns. I hate them. Now look, in terms of puns, that is a good one.
That's a pretty good one, man.
It is a good one. It is a good one. I just don't like puns. That character is characterized as, I'm used to seeing him characterized. The thing about these Sonic movies is the human element that I don't really understand why it's there. I mean, I guess it's there.
It's almost like Transformers. It's like, why are there so many fucking humans in this shit?
Yeah, why are there so many humans? Like, why is this B plot about James Marsden who married
Tika Sumpter?
You
lucky asshole! Get out of here!
Yeah, what the fuck? Again, this is a world where there are 4-foot blue hedgehogs running around.
Anything can happen.
Fantasy. and they kind of adopt Sonic as a kid, and they go to Hawaii, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're there for. I don't know what they're there for, but I hear that the human component is toned down in the third one, so I'm actually looking forward to that. I just want to see. I want to see this little blue hedgehog get boxed up by this black half Asian blicky carrying Shadow of the Hedgehog, roller skating Shadow of the Hedgehog.
Yeah, what kind of the level of accessories that character has?
Yeah, a lot of box checking in that.
Roller skates, half black, half Asian.
You got a motorcycle, I believe, in the trailer as well. I'm like, how many modes of transportation? How many vehicles of conveyance do you need?
The human. Have either of you seen Transformers 1 yet? We're talking about Transformers.
No, not yet. I actually do want to see that.
The reviews are fucking excellent for that. You really enjoyed it, if I recall, too, Ernst.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I watched that, and then like I said, I watched that and the Wild Robot one after the other.
Wow, yeah. Terrence has a real affinity for robots, stories that make him cry. I don't know what's going on over there.
No, Transformers 1 don't make you cry. It's just a wild
No, notice he only
turned into wild.
Notice he only named one of those two movies.
Right. One of them is a pro-union movie, and the other one will make you cry.
It's true. That's 100% true. Yeah, man.
We need
Transformers 1 is very good, man. Transformers 1 is a very good movie. Like it is good. Like
it's Brian Tyree and Chris Hemsworth, right? That's Megatron and Optimus, respectively. Yeah, that's a pretty good choice for voice acting. It's certainly interesting, but yeah,
like if you're not gonna get like legit voice actors, they were actually Brian Tyree Henry when he turned into Megatron was pretty fucking good.
He's a good.
Chris
He's an
Hemsworth
actor.
was just Chris Hemsworth was just Chris Hemsworth. You can't really, Chris Hemsworth when you hear him, right?
Exactly. So. All right, so Sonic the Hedgehog 2, fine enough to get you to watch 3.
Yeah, I enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog 2 also. I like when he turned into Super. What was it, like Sonic, Gold Sonic? Didn't that happen? Happened at the end of the movie.
That happened at the end of the Supersonic.
Yeah, okay.
I always enjoy Supersonic. I always enjoy Supersonic, except when you have to fucking control him because he's even more loosey goosey because gravity doesn't apply. So he's just flying all over the place, and then it's literally not a platformer anymore. Like any semblance of a platformer is gone because gravity doesn't apply to Supersonic. What the?
This week on Dense Pixels, why Micah still has a grudge against Sonic the Hedgehog.
I don't have to. We don't have to talk about that because it'll be preaching to the choir. Because Brad hates Sonic.
Yeah, Brad also hates Sonic. I think he hates Sonic more than fucking Micah. Like
I saw that game because he's a Crash Bandicoot fucking fanatic. Goddamn PlayStation.
No, you ever play my first time playing Crash Bandicoot was Uncharted 4, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Why am I running towards the screen? This is fucking weird, man.
You know, Brad has a Crash Bandicoot tattoo, right? That's how much of a fan he is.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the rumor I'm starting right now. That
like, wait a minute, what are you saying?
I mean, the fact that I believed you for a second,
right? Exactly. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people are saying Brad does in fact have a Crash Bandicoot chest tattoo, like full chest tattoo. It's weird. I mean, it's weird. But
like Roger Stone, what the fuck? No, he got that shit on his back.
Just Crash Bandicoot. Who's the president of Sony? Like whoever that is, Brad has that guy's face tattooed on his back. It's really weird.
I also watched. Did you get a chance to watch the Mega Man episode of Secret Level?
No, I didn't.
You could probably watch it. You could probably watch it right now because it's only like 8 minutes. It's super fucking short.
It's on Prime, right?
Yeah, it's on Prime. I watched that. It's super short. It's everybody's like, man, I need a series of this. You need a series of it because it was the first block before commercial break. Like that was the length of it. It was literally it was like, hey, I just got this book. Let me read the preamble. Like not even the first chapter, nigga. It's the preamble. It was okay, but it was just it wasn't anything there. You know what I mean?
Now I have a serious question. Is Boomer Kawanger involved in this short at all?
No, none of them.
Damn it! It's the best villain. Is Zero in it?
No, none of them. None of them.
Bone Man?
Not even Mega Man. Mega Man.
Stop it! Stop it! Don't say things like that. That's ridiculous.
He's not. He's Rock. He's before he puts on the armor and shit, and he gets the armor at the end of the short, and then there it is,
a dog. And then it's like in the year 20XX. Is that how it ends?
I mean, I wish it said that. Yeah. The best part about it was the music because Mega Man music fucking kicks ass.
I do like that.
But other than that,
yeah, that's too bad. I was hoping for something special for that, but I am gonna watch it. All right, Terrence, you have not watched any of Creature Commandos. Highly recommend. And you get to see Nazis get murdered. That's a bonus. And like very upfront. They're not like, oh, they're in the background getting killed. Nah, right in your face. And they make you care about the Nazis first before blowing their fucking heads off, which is wonderful. James Gunn
makes somebody care about a Nazi
because you don't know they're not because you don't know they're Nazis yet. But then you find out, surprise. James Gunn continues to do what I think is like this conversation about Creature Commandos is very relevant to when we talk about Superman. The latest episode 4, deals with what's the
Weasel.
Right? Weasel is that like dog like thing, werewolf looking thing from the Suicide Squad, right? And you're always told that he like killed a bunch of kids, and then they give the backstory of what happened and why people believe that. Gunn is so good at getting you pulled into these stories emotionally where you think there is no story to tell. And even Weasel's story is interesting and emotionally driven. The previous episode, the one I'm referring to about the Nazis, is about G.I. Robot. And it's an emotional story, and then it goes fucking nuts at the end, and it's so much fun, right? Like his ability to write these stories and have real fun with them, and the characters be ridiculous but also interesting and have heart and everything else. Yeah, he nails it every time, man. And so far, what is it? It's been The Bride. Who was the second episode focused on? I'm trying to remember.
The Bride was the second episode. The first episode was the introduction. The second episode was The Bride. The third episode was G.I. Robot. The fourth one is Weasel.
Is Weasel, right? So yeah, you're getting a sense of like all of these characters. But I think you would dig it a lot. I think you'd like Creature Commandos quite a bit. And it does answer one of the questions that people have been wondering, like, what are they going to do with Wonder Woman? Because they've not announced anything. Yeah, she doesn't exist in the universe yet. So she getting recast. In case you were holding out hope for that stellar actress Gal Gadot, that's not happening because the show makes remember who you are.
Remember who you are. All right, John. All right.
She's
great. They told every other actor to mimic Gal Gadot because Gal Gadot couldn't put on any other accent.
Wait, what are you saying right now?
Yeah, in Themyscira, they all did it like a pseudo-Israeli accent because she couldn't change her voice. So they just had everybody change theirs to hers. Sure.
Oh,
Go ahead and recast. Go ahead and recast.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what?
Also, why does she even need
Give me Katie O'Brien. I'll be fine.
Look, that's my 100% top easiest casting of all time. She's too muscular. She's supposed to be able to throw a tank through a fucking bell tank. She's supposed to have a little bit of muscle. Right. Now look like she can't lift a fucking loaf of bread. Get out of here. So yeah, Creature Commandos is really good. This latest episode about Weasel is excellent, and it's action. You know, there's plenty of action in the episode per usual, and the show's pretty violent in a lot of ways. But he does that fucking perfect mix of like making you care about these characters that you didn't think you'd want to. And he does it again in this episode. Very well. All right, topics this week. Micah, take it away.
Are you watching Day of the Jackal?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did skip over that. Micah, you talked about Day of the Jackal a little bit last week. I had a chance to watch it as well. I'm halfway through, or just about halfway through. Yeah, the show is super good. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm not going to pretend like no one told me about it, Micah. But like you did the Penguin, you asshole. But
like you did Succession, you dickhead.
Fair is fair. Let's move on.
Touche. That shit is one of the funny things.
The Day of the Jackal is dope, man. It's really, really good. Eddie Redmayne is great. Lashana Lynch is excellent in it. Yeah, it's really fucking good. You would, again, Terrence, highly recommend. I think you would dig the shit out of it. Look, there's a scene in this last episode I saw, episode 4, not to spoil it for anybody, but like maybe you don't try to fuck over somebody that you pay to assassinate people. Feels like a bad idea. Like, especially when you don't know what this nigga looks like. Yeah, people pay handily for doing this guy dirty. It's good. Like, everybody is good. It's got like the cool like sort of international intrigue and that sort of thing. Like when I first started watching it, and like the credits start rolling in the beginning. I'm like, oh, did Micah like this? Yeah, no shit. Like this is like it's like James Bond, the fucking TV show.
It sounds like fucking. It sounds like a Shirley Bassey song, Terrence.
Yeah, like it really. I was like, yeah, this is like shooting fucking fish in a barrel for you.
Like Snake Eater.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm going to be into this. Yeah, I'm going to be into it. But yeah, it's dope, and like the sort of the assassination scenes and shit like that are good. Like they do a really good job of kind of like here's the story, and then it's like all right, everything like comes to a moment. This thing happens. You're like, oh shit! Like how is he going to pull this off and get away with it and all? Yeah, it's dope. And
you know how heist movies have the scene where it's like we got to go over the plan, and then usually that's intercut with like scenes of how the plan is going to be executed. They do that with assassinations in this. Like there's the loading up scene, like in Commando, right? You tie your fucking shoes, you get the fucking thing there, and it's like. But like for killing people, and it's dope, man.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, he did it, and you're like, oh, that.
Oh, but he just murdered somebody.
He just murdered.
Oh wait, he just murdered a diplomat. Oh shit.
I haven't watched. I haven't started watching it yet. I might watch an episode when we get off here.
The funny thing is, like, when I turned it on, the very first episode, and I'm like 45 seconds into the episode, and they play one of my favorite songs of all time, and I just wrote to Mike, I was like, God damn it, I'm in. Like immediately, like it was like, you know what? Because it's a perfect song for that scene, especially. And like the first episode has 2 hits in it. Like it's not like, oh, they slow rolling it. No, no, they get to the shit right away. I'm pretty sure there's a hit in just about every episode, right? As he's sort of ping ponging all over the world.
People most certainly die in every episode. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Somebody getting shot. So, yeah, it's really good. And that traffic stop that happens in episode 4 was wonderful. It was awesome. Like, just leave him alone. All right, so let's get into topics. Micah, take it away.
Fresh off the success of HBO's series The Penguin, DC Studios has officially greenlit a feature film centered around Clayface, the shape-shifting Batman villain from a script written by Dr. Sleep filmmaker Mike Flanagan. According to a source with direct knowledge of the production. You know, when you say a Clayface movie, I'm like, but then you say Mike Flanagan, and I'm like...
Yeah, man.
Right. All right.
When as soon as I saw Mike Flanagan's name, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to give it a try. I'll watch it. That nigga doesn't miss. He doesn't miss.
Warner Brothers has a date for the film, September 11th, 2026. Flanagan, who first pitched DC Studios on a Clayface project in 2023, tweeted in 2021 that he was, quote, really keen to do a standalone Clayface movie as a horror thriller tragedy. But he is already committed to write and direct a new take on The Exorcist for Universal through Blumhouse and Morgan Creek. He is also developing a series adaptation of Stephen King's novel Carrie for Amazon MGM.
Again, he doesn't miss everything. Every fucking Stephen King adaptation he's done has been great. He did Dr. Sleep, which was very good. He did fucking Gerald's Game, which was excellent.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I thought that's the one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that a lot. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did The Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, The Fall.
Very good. Very good. The Fall of the House of Usher was excellent.
The Haunting of the Bly Manor, Dr. Sleep, Hush, The Haunting.
I don't think I've seen Hush.
The Midnight Club.
That was with the kids. I didn't watch that one. I heard it was all right.
Gerald's Game. Oculus, which I heard was good.
I heard Oculus was very good.
And Ouija. I didn't see that. So I have no idea about that.
Didn't see that either.
Clayface is one of the earliest Batman antagonists. He has had several iterations since he was introduced in 1940 as a washed-up actor who turns to crime wearing a clay-like mask of the character of a character he once played. His shape-shifting abilities were introduced in 1961. and he has been portrayed in many live action and animated adaptations. The decision to greenlight this project is the strongest signal yet that DC Studios co-chiefs James Gunn and Peter Safran intend the studio to incorporate a wide assortment of storytelling tones. Quote, one of the main things I want to establish is that you can do anything at DC Studios, James Gunn recently told Variety, while discussing his animated series Creature Commandos, the first official title in the DC universe. Quote, we can make complete family fare. We can make something that's for general audiences like Superman. We can make something that is violent and sexual like this. It's about creating a world in which we can tell stories about, one type of character in different genres.
Okay.
It's being like a horror thriller or whatever. Like that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. The talk I've seen the talk that, it's being I guess the overarching feel of it is more like The Fly with, like kind of body horror and stuff like that, which look, I'm going to say this and you give me a hard time for the rest of your lives. I don't give a fuck. I've never finished that movie because when he started fucking turning to a fly, I was like, I'm going to throw up, and I turned it off and I can't. And I love Jeff Goldblum to death.
It's pretty goddamn gross.
Yeah.
Like it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Just fucking vomiting and all that. Yeah. Pretty fucking gross.
I've seen enough images, and that was enough for me. I was like, I got the gist. I feel ill. Thank you. Like, I got it. You won. So yeah, this sounds cool. Like, of all the directors, he makes things that make me uneasy. So sure, that feels right. I mean, the talk is that maybe Clayface might be in Batman, the Batman 2, as sort of the more conventional version of the character, not so much like the Batman the Animated Series. Not
the monster.
Yeah, not the monster, right? So that's kind of interesting. I would maybe prefer someone different, but that could also be really kind of fun too.
I like the iteration that they had in the Batman that new Batman animated show that just came out. I like that a lot.
It was basically the washed up actor thing, but it was a combination of
Boris Karloff.
Yeah, like Boris Karloff with like shape shifting powers that he got from like. I remember it was actually really good. It was actually a grounded way to take that ridiculous character,
right? And maybe that's what you do that's what you do for the Batman. But it would be cool if like this Clayface is like the Batman the Animated Series, right? With like can make weapons and shit like that. Like by the end, he just becomes like just this fucking psycho monster. Like that'd be kind of fun.
At one point, he created another consciousness, like this little girl, and Robin was kind of falling for the girl, and she was like, "Oh, I got to go back to my dad," and then he fucking absorbs her and shit, freaked the fuck out of Robin.
Yeah, it's like
I just want to see, I want to see Matt Reeves's Batman. I want them to take a cue from that animated series that you just brought up, Terrence, and I want them to have thick Asian Harley Quinn.
You're a disgusting person.
I think thick Asian Harley Quinn would go over gangbusters with people.
Oh, it would. I'm sure it would.
And Mika Tan. Why not?
There you go. Bam. There you go.
As Harley Quinn. That's ridiculous.
Digging in the crates for
that
one.
You are. Good
digging
Lord.
In the crates for that one.
Good.
Look, he went to go dig in them crates. Like, you know what? I haven't seen a picture of Mika Tan in a long time.
He left.
I had to go look at pictures of Mika Tan. I don't know. I have no clue what you just disconnected me from. No fucking reason.
Yeah, right. I mean, looking at, you know what?
Anyway.
As I'm Googling Mika Tan, you know what? It's fine. Let's all. I'll save that. And then incognito browser for later. Anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is in the works, Micah. You're going to be forced to see.
Yeah, I know. God, what the fuck? Sonic 4.
What's another villain? Aren't they out of villains? Is Toonsa the cat?
I don't even know. I have no idea. I
There's
just
a
know
cy-
Dr.
there's a cyborg
Robotnik and
Sonic.
Shadow.
There's a cyborg
Cyber
Sonic. You know, a robot Sonic or Robo Sonic or some shit like that. Maybe that's it.
Nah, you got to have something better. You can't just go to all the Sonic villains. Robot Sonic,
Robots,
and Robot Knuckles, and then Robot Shadow. Now, like, all right, there are Robot Tails too. That's boring.
Let me see. What are some Sonic villains? Yeah, apparently Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is they're prepping for a 2027 release. The news comes as Sonic 3 races into theaters this week, where it's expected to top the box office at $55 to $60 million.
Wow.
3,800 theaters. Goddamn.
Oh, it's
yeah. They want people. They know they got a hit. Like, all right, let's keep this gravy train going. Maybe we can get the Sonic.
I'm shocked that the series is doing. I mean, I know Sonic is like a beloved character, but I'm surprised it's doing as well as it's doing, and people love it as much as they do. I really enjoyed that first movie, and I like the second one a lot too. So I was surprised.
But you know what it is fundamentally that's crazy about this. If they had not listened to fan outrage when they first showed it, and they had
this is one of the few times fan outrage absolutely worked.
Absolutely worked, dude. Because
that shit looked terrible.
It looked awful, but they fixed it. It's not like the movie hadn't already been written and shit. Like they did the same story. They just got the character design fucked up, and people were like, "No, I don't like this. This is fucking awful." And they were like, "We hear you," and they changed it, and then it was a massive success. I mean, they had to have been like, "Woo," because there's no way they wouldn't have gotten past that first movie with that design.
It's almost like people were like, "Hey, this should be comic accurate," and then they did it, and then people loved it because it was accurate to the source material, and not just a nigga in a blue onesie.
That you didn't like when you first saw that either, by the way.
That fucking original Sonic was so terrible that they put that shit in the fucking Chip and Dale movie, which was very good, by the way. As ugly good. Sonic.
I like that movie. That's what they called him, They called him Ugly Sonic.
That shit was funny as hell, man.
Yeah, yo, he looked. Nah, yo, this design is terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. Even I was like, yo, this looks terrible, nigga. What the fuck? Like, you can't. Nah, man, I can't. What is going on? Why does he have a human face?
Yeah.
What is this?
That was so weird. Yeah, they changed that shit up, and everyone was like, we accept it.
Yes, that's exactly like what that. They did. Like, yeah. And they did it quick, too.
Yeah, they did. They did a find all, copy, replace. Every scene changes dumb face, please. Yeah, but you know what? To fans' credit, that was something that they were absolutely justified in hating, and they got their way, and they actually were correct. So
yeah,
but
one of the very few times that worked.
But and look, kudos to the company for actually listening. Because they could have just been like, no, y'all going to see it anyway. Like, no.
They probably realized, like,
cost benefit.
This is like a serious backlash.
This is why you need
make any money.
This is why you need friends, man. Like you need a friend. You need a friend to tell you, like, look, man, like you fucking up, yo. You fucking up.
No, you
like,
ugly.
What the fuck is this blue shit? Like get yourself together. All right, you want people to come see you. You gotta get yourself together. You gotta make yourself presentable. You can't go around looking. This is gross. This is gross.
Yeah, I could not believe.
You got Tika Sumpter right there. You gonna walk around looking like that? Tika Sumpter right there. Get the fuck out of here, man.
James Marsden, what are you doing here? It's a fantasy movie. All right, god damn it. They made the guy black. Yeah, so all right, Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I guess we're riding this shit all the way until Micah's kid is 40 years old. This is his Avengers. That's how this is working. I think 22 of these movies. All right, last one in topics. Marvel finally makes a Nova series real by hiring a showrunner, quite officially. They have hired Ed Bernero, who is he was a showrunner on Criminal Minds. He is going to be the showrunner for the Marvel Nova series. So on Disney Plus.
CBS show?
Yeah, I thought...
It's been on for like 40 years.
Yeah, like I got really excited when I saw this because I was thinking, what's the one on Netflix about the...
Mindhunter?
Mindhunter. I was like, oh shit! I was like, yo, that's amazing.
That's what's his name, right? That's David Fincher.
Yeah, David Fincher, right?
Mindhunter. It's like, oh shit, son, you about to do Nova, and then you said Criminal Minds.
Yeah, I literally was like, I was just about to type it out because I was gonna send it to Micah, and I was like, yo, they got the guy from. Wait, was that Criminal? That wasn't Criminal Minds. And I googled. I was like, oh, and I saw the post. I was like, oh, god damn it! Like, I was so excited. I really was.
Oh shit!
Now I've never seen Criminal Minds, but apparently it's popular enough that it's been on for like again.
That's the show that like my mom watches.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like CSI, NCIS, all that other bullshit on CBS. It's the same show.
It is.
So for him to be there, I'm like, all right,
fine,
okay.
Like he could
Criminal
keep
Minds
has been around.
Criminal Minds has been around for 20 years, guys.
I'm saying
what?
Been on air forever, man.
How many?
First episode was September 22nd, 2005.
2005. Jesus Christ! Criminal Minds is older than my relationship with my wife.
Criminal Minds is older than the people Terrence works with. Yo.
The same fucking age. Like, you ever heard of Criminal Minds? I don't know what that is. Of course you don't. It's like your mother doesn't even watch that shit, you young motherfucker.
That's hilarious. Like Criminal Minds, I grew up on that. Like, all right, get away from me.
Criminal Minds is there like Matlock. Like what's that? Nick at Night?
It was fucking in the heat of the night and shit.
That's when you knew it was close to time to go to bed. Like when you heard that fucking theme music, you're like, oh shit. She gonna tell me to go to bed.
Shit.
So yeah, the guy from Criminal Minds, not Mindhunters, unfortunately, is gonna be running this. Again, I don't have any problems with Criminal Minds. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it. So like nigga, it's a CBS procedural. That's all you need to know.
I mean, I guess I technically have seen it. I've seen all of them.
You have seen it. Exactly.
Every episode. But he does. Bonero replaces Moon Knight writer Sabir Perzada, who originally was tapped to be as a writer for this project. But now this dude is going to be he's going to be the writer and showrunner for this. But in fairness, he is just the showrunner for Criminal Minds. He does not write the, I'm sure, very formulaic episodes of Criminal Minds. But okay, finally we get a Nova project. I don't know if it's going to be Richard Rider, aka Dick Rider, but that or Sam Alexander. My guess is it's probably going to be Sam Alexander, so they can get a young Latin kid superhero. But I think it's probably a good idea to do both of them. Just have one be established and one find his dad's helmet, and then they join forces and be part of the Nova Corps. So for folks who don't know, Terrence, the Nova and the Nova Corps are basically Marvel's version of the Green Lantern Corps. They don't have the exact same powers.
I used to play Nova in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
There you go.
It's one of my main characters.
I love that. I love that 90% of your comic book knowledge comes from Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
It's very good. Speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom, I know this is an aside. Micah, have you seen what Maximilian has done with fucking Marvel Infinite?
I saw the trailer. I've been following what he's been doing, and I saw the trailer.
Yeah, that's what it should have looked like all along. It looks fucking amazing.
I can't believe the amount of work he put in just to do it. right? Because he can't get paid off of it.
Wait, what did he do? For people who
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite it's a very good game. It's very good. Combat is like it was a 2v2 fighting game. Very good. It's fucking ugly as hell. It's ugly as sin.
I'm
if you look at videos of it.
I've seen what it looks like. Yeah, no,
it's really fucking ugly, and they've basically redone all of the artwork to make it look like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And it looks amazing. Like they had to like reverse engineer this shit to do what they did, and he just paid out of his own. He paid his own money. This is how popular this guy is. He was able to pay his own money to get people to do the artwork and new music and all this other extra shit for this game that came out like 6 years ago because he loved it so much. And he's like, this is what it should be. And it's coming out like tomorrow. The update is coming out like tomorrow.
Oh, so wait, he's releasing. So how does that work? Like he's releasing an update himself?
It's on Steam. It's on Steam, and it's like a whole reskin of the entire game. And like it's an update that you download so you can play over the game that's already there.
Oh, interesting.
And he did it. Like he and like a bunch and like a couple other people. Yeah, it's free.
It has to be free because
he doesn't own the right.
He don't own the IP.
It's fucking insane. I know we're getting into fucking the Dense Pixels territory, but it just looks fucking great. I was fucking shocked. I've been watching it. I've been following it, but like when that trailer came in, I'm like, holy shit, he did it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, he fucking pulled it off.
That's why I've been following this dude for like 12 years. Man. I've been following his channel for like almost 15 years.
Yeah, you're
over a decade.
You're as dedicated to it as folks are to Criminal Minds. So, I was really hoping you'd spit your beer.
I like him because he loves fucking fighting games. I'm right there with him. So anyway.
And he seems like a genuine like person. You know what I mean? Like he's a big fucking dork, right? But like, so is everybody watching his channel. You know what I mean? Like,
I ain't making him
pretty much
right.
So, same age as us. He's like maybe like a few years younger. And this he probably hit his 40s. Yeah, all played the same shit again. Like that same fucking generation, man.
One of a few nice people on the internet.
Yeah, not us, but
it spreads positivity.
What's this?
Yeah, what a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Get over it.
Look at that picture of Chun-Li.
Happy bastard.
Look at that picture of Chun-Li I just sent you. Like that's what the game used to look like.
Nigga, that's her face.
It was terrible, man.
This is disrespectful. This game came out how many years ago? 30 years ago?
30? No, not at all. This game came out. This game came out a couple years ago, and it just like look at that shit.
Like 2018 or something like that.
No, that's offensive.
It was pretty bad.
All right, trailers this week. Let's get to the fucking show here. Trailers this week. Karate Kid Legends. This is not connected to the Cobra Kai TV show. This is a sequel to the Karate Kid sort of remake that was starring Jaden Smith a number of years ago, and obviously Jackie Chan as well. And so this is putting in its direct connection into the original Karate Kid movies. Read the log line here because I never saw the Jaden Smith one because I was offended. In Karate Kid Legends, after a family tragedy, Kung Fu prodigy Li Fong, played by Ben Wang, is uprooted from his home in Beijing and forced to move to New York City with his mother. Li struggles to let go of his past, and he tries to fit in with his new classmates. Although he doesn't want to fight, trouble seems to find him everywhere. When a new friend needs his help, Li enters a karate competition, but his skills alone aren't enough. Li's kung fu teacher, Mr. Han, Jackie Chan, enlists Karate Kid Daniel LaRusso, played by Ralph Macchio, who still looks like he's 12, for help. And Li learns a new way to fight, merging the two styles into one for an ultimate martial arts showdown. Look, trailer looks cool, whatever. Maybe I'll go back and watch the Jaden Smith one. Probably not. But I would watch this. Here's what I would say. This kid is a fucking shit ton better than Daniel LaRusso will ever be. I mean, this guy actually knows Kung Fu. Like,
right. Why the fuck is Ralph Macchio even in this movie?
Right. Like, what is he going to do, yo?
Yeah.
What are you
like,
gonna
he
do?
barely
Member
mastered
berries.
standing on one foot, yo.
Yeah, like his best moment is just the plot armor by which he was
The crane kick.
enshrined.
Meanwhile, this kid is doing triple backflip drop kicks and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like here's
All
the
right.
introduction to our character. I'm like, does he need training? He seems to be okay. Who in his high school is better than him? What the fuck? Not to be offensive, but this dude came fresh off the boat ready to fight. Like, get the fuck out of here. Okay, that was purposely offensive. Yeah, this looks fun. I like the Cobra Kai series. And I'm a huge fan of the original Karate Kid series. I think it's great. So, and it's got one of the best lines of all time. So, yeah, okay. I'm all in. I'll watch it. I'm not seeing it in theaters, but I'll watch it when
I would watch it if it's on, just because, like, I like watching people fight, So I'd watch it if it was on. But yeah, I don't like to fight. Meanwhile, I'm a fucking badass. Like, nah, yo, nah.
I wish I had that problem. I don't want to. No, I'd be like, yo, I can do a lot. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like, I'm way too.
Like, that's why you don't need to know how to fight. You walk around just beating people up for no reason.
Let's have a conversation. No. Jackie Chan actually looks old in this, which is crazy because he's been the same age for like 40 years, as far as I'm concerned.
Asian people don't get old until they do, and then they get real old.
Yeah. The scale isn't like everybody else that is like slowed down. It's like way too straight down dead. You're like,
right?
What was it 10 minutes?
What the hell happened?
Right. Daniel Day Kim has looked like Daniel Day Kim for 50 years, and that dude is gonna live to be like 100 years old, and then he's gonna turn into James Wong and shit. Like,
yep, pretty much. That's how it goes. Yeah, but otherwise, this looks pretty fun. The fight scenes look cool. I mean, they look pretty well coordinated, like that. There's some like obvious wire work and stuff like that, but like it's just one of those things where you just go, yeah, I don't care. It's fine. Do something cool. So, I mean, Ralph Macchio has really made an entire fucking career out of this franchise, man. Like, he's in his 60s, which is insane.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah, he looks great.
For 60, yeah.
He's 63 years old.
Yeah, especially for, see, why? What do you consider his?
Ralph Macchio? Probably.
Macchio? What's that? Italian?
Yeah, he's done.
Sounds Italian. They have us anyway. When they in trouble, they us. So.
Yeah, that's true. They just
when they in trouble, they're swarthy Europeans. So
history says you are correct. Y'all can't. White people were like, "You can't sit here," and then they were like, "All right, maybe."
His pops owned a bunch of laundromats and a wastewater disposal company, so he came from money.
Nah, that nigga's in the mob. Ralph Macchio's mobbed up.
Right, his father was mobbed up.
Yeah.
He was giving people cement shoes and shit back in the day. All right, bro.
Like, I'm gonna be in these three movies, and that's gonna be enough for me for the rest of my life. All right, cool, bet. Next up, certainly not a light trailer. Warfare, which is a movie that has got a lot going on. This is an A24 film written and directed by Iraq War veteran Ray Mendoza and Civil War's Alex Garland. Oh, God. And starring DeFero Wunatai, Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis. That's a hell of a name. Kit Connor, Finn Bennett, Taylor John Smith, Michael Gandolfini, which I think is James Gandolfini's son.
That's James Gandolfini's son, yeah.
Aiden Bradley, Noah Centineo, Evan Holtzman, Enrique Zaga, and Joseph Quinn and Charles Melton. So you got the Human Torch in there as well. Having a actual Iraqi War veteran doing this story coupled with Alex Garland, who is an unbelievably great writer and director, having this guy connected to Garland to do this is fucking nuts. This looks very real. Very, very
looks intense. Like I said when I was watching, this is going to give some soldiers PTSD. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
they're legitimately gonna be in the theater. Like, I don't like this shit.
Yeah, this is,
like, I like it, but
this is like some Saving Private Ryan for the Iraq War type shooting. You know what I mean? Like, oof. It looks good.
It looks good. It's fucking A24, man.
Did this thing say it was in like real time?
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Did it? I didn't.
I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging. I thought I saw somewhere that this movie was.
It did say this is from memory.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. That I don't know if it was real time.
Which is if it's in real time,
unfiltered in real time.
Yeah, a real time Iraq. Oof. Cool. So you're going to be sweating the entire time. Like,
yeah. So it's just going to be fucking anxiety for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
damn,
like when
my fucking Alex Garland.
Yo, like that one.
A24.
Like when the one guy who's like clearly been shot and is like pretty gravely injured, and he hears on the radio like we've got one man injured or whatever, and the guy's like, who's injured? And his buddy's just like, it's not you. Like, fucking let's keep going. I'm like, yo, this is too much for me, yo. This is it's too much. It's just incredibly fucking brutal.
And again, I love this guy's an Iraq War veteran, so
yeah.
Not like that shit was made up.
You don't have to.
Again, like I said, niggas are gonna be walking. If they go see this in the theater, people are probably gonna fucking have PTSD and just freak the fuck out. I don't know if that's a good thing. It's probably gonna be a very good movie, but like, I don't know, man. Didn't they say, like you said, Saving Private Ryan? Didn't they say like World War II vets were like having issues with that movie?
They had to, like, some of them had to get up and leave during the D-Day scenes.
Yeah,
like, it was that.
I feel like this might be the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's a testament to Spielberg's abilities as a director to like elicit that level of response. Also, that's horrifying. like
I said, I just recently saw that this year for the first time, and that shit is, first of all, that's an amazing movie. I had never seen it before.
It holds up.
It's fucking awesome.
It really does. Saving Private Ryan, Micah?
Lord.
No, I have not seen it.
You should do yourself. Do yourself a favor. Is like that's a wild statement to make.
Yeah,
it's rough, man. The whole D-Day scene.
It's a rough movie, but god damn, is it good? That fucking beginning is
the D-Day scene is
incredibly violent. Like, it's one of the most violent things I've seen on film, too. Jesus.
Yeah, because it's not fake looking. It feels very real, and you're like, oh, is that guy gonna make it? No,
no, he's not.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of that movie is you think. Like with every movie, you're like, oh, those are the heroes and they're going to make it to the end. In the entire movie, you're like, which one? I don't know. Like you don't know, right? Like so it's this constant like juggling of your expectations, which is what war is. You have no idea. And then they have like little down moments. They get to a place that's safe and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, should the war still going on? And then they're right back into it. Like Saving Private Ryan is a hell of a film. And this looks on par with that. Now, I did see some people's criticism just online that this feels like to do this movie feels like very like pro-America, pro-war. And I don't get that impression like at all from this film. I mean, what are your impressions?
Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if this is what happens.
Anything about a cop or anything about the military, like people say, propaganda, right? Like, unless it's just instinctual for certain people, especially people in your sphere, right? And it is
my sphere.
No, your sphere is our sphere.
I mean,
your sphere is a little more blue than my sphere.
Look, here's the thing. They annoy me too. Okay, like I'm like
I be saying that shit all the time. Y'all niggas are obnoxious. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
fucking really annoying.
Yeah. No, they can be, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh, a new war picture. Like I kind of like it.
Right? Because you're reasonable, right? Like you're not obstinate. You know what I mean?
No.
And so anything that stars the military and unless they are evil mercenaries is going to be labeled propaganda. Right. So but this, I think they make movies like this specifically not to come off that way, right? I think this is more of a, hey, this is what the human condition is, and no matter what, like we are all one. We are brothers, and we got to get the hell out of here. Like that's the vibe that this is coming off as. These people are trying to save a man and get away, right? Like I'm not really focused on why they were there in the first place. I'm in the here and the now, right? Yeah. And if these guys make it out, then we can talk about that shit.
Right.
But
and like I'm not so sure that they don't deal with, like, just because those guys were commissioned to go there doesn't mean they agree with all the political, machinations of why the United States is in Iraq, right? You can go there and be like, hey, these innocent people, or, maybe they need help and stuff like that. Like, let's not forget, like, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda were not good guys. They were horrendous fucking people. Now, us going over there, I mean, we kind of didn't do it for like altruistic reasons. I will obviously acknowledge that. But like, not everybody they were fighting was just like, oh, an innocent kid in the street. No, that's not true, right? There is nuance to that shit. So, yeah, I mean, but I agree with you. I think the whole point is to show the humanity of people, soldiers and civilians, and as well.
Yeah,
so
man, because the people sending these people off to war, they don't consider them humans, right?
Fodder.
Like, they are quite literally fodder. They don't give a fuck, and that's why all that like support the troop stuff, like it's lip service coming from certain people, mainly politicians, right? Yeah. Who would never send their sons or daughters out there,
right?
Who would, and I don't appreciate that shit, man. I just don't. Like the people who, not everybody who joins the military. Some people are just like, some people just want to kill people legally, right? Like I acknowledge that, but a lot, I know quite a few military personnel who do it because they feel inspired, like they love where they come from, and they feel like they want to make a difference, and they feel like this is the only way that they can. You know what I mean? So I have respect for that, but like, and this is what I like to see in these types of movies. I don't like to see, this is what I like to see.
Team America.
right. I don't need world police. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm interested in this. I do like that A24 is getting into more of these sort of bigger films, right? Because a war movie takes a lot more of a bigger budget. It takes a lot more setting up and shit like that. And look, whatever you think of, these sort of movies, I'm not even remotely here for people saying like Civil War wasn't a fucking great film. Like, the way that movie is handled,
is a silly thing to say.
But I mean, it's handled in a way. I mean, just the military action sequences are fucking intense, and so I'm imagining taking what you saw in that movie, which there's not a ton of that. It's really at the end, taking that and putting that through an entire real time movie. Well, I hope the fucking AC is up because I'm gonna be sweating the entire fucking time.
Hell, that scene in Civil War where it was just the dudes in like Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, the Boogaloo Boys.
That scene in the building, the Boogaloo Boys fighting against I guess they were military.
Who knows?
I don't even know if they were whoever they were. Like, even that scene was fucking good.
Yeah,
a bunch of fucking random people just that's a good movie, man.
It's
a very good movie.
I got my wife to watch it. And she was like riveted. She was like, oh my god, this movie's so good. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Alex Garland. Like, he doesn't really miss. I wasn't a huge fan of Annihilation, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad movie. It just wasn't a movie for me. But yeah, this Warfare looks fucking great. It looks really good. All right, let's get to the shit we've all been waiting to talk about. The trailer for Superman. This is James Gunn's the true start of the reboot of the DC universe. Before I before we get into the actual trailer, I do want to read something that I think is important. Hold on one second. Let me see it. Just quickly, Terrence, you wrote to Mike and I just watched the Superman teaser trailer. Holy shit. And you know what? I know that this trailer must have done something because Terrence does not write shit like that when it comes to movie trailers.
I don't.
You really don't.
You really don't.
At all. I really don't. I watched that trailer and I was like, this looks fucking amazing. And when I was watching, I'm like, this looks fucking amazing. But I do have an issue. I have one slight issue with it.
All right, go for it.
The issue that I have is it feels like there are way too many fucking characters at once.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
Fair.
So my one, Jack asked us, what are your thoughts on the Superman trailer? And I said, I'm very optimistic, but I need to hear some dialogue, right? Because James Gunn has a way of writing, and a lot of his movies in this genre have been a ragtag group of strong-willed personalities coming together to overcome something that they probably couldn't individually, right?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, 3 movies of that. Creature Commandos.
There's a lot of humor. There's a lot of comedy
Squad.
in these movies. Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of comedy in it. And this movie is another movie that's got the Boy Scout, the third smartest man alive, a dickhead from Baltimore, a warrior who takes herself way too seriously, and it's got a lot of characters in it. And I don't want the focus to kind of be off of Superman. I don't necessarily think it will, but 2, I don't want it to sound like
a James Gunn movie.
A James Gunn movie.
It should just be an ensemble. If I'm catching your point.
Yeah, and I don't want it to have like weird fucking Peacemaker humor. And I'm not saying it will.
I agree with that.
But I don't want that. You know what I mean? I think he can pull out I think he can make me care about literally everybody. But at the same time, like, the focus should be on Superman because this is his movie, right? One of the big things about Batman v Superman is that we never really got a proper Superman Man of Steel sequel.
Yep.
Right? Man of Steel was a perfectly fine starting off point for a Superman movie. And then they were just like, fuck all this. Let's just add let's combine the 2 most highest grossing comic book issues, smash them together in one movie and throw Wonder Woman in it. Like, and that just, so that's my only
gripe,
thing that I'm not concerned, but like I'm keeping my eye on with this movie. Everything else that I've seen, I mean, fucking great.
Yeah. So, okay. The trailer I loved, right? My biggest issue is it felt like it took forever, like from him laying on the ground, like to like another scene. And I was just like, we don't have that many minutes. Like, come on, get to the fuck. Like, 'cause I want to see shit, right? That, like, upon my first time watching it, I was just so excited to see it. One, I think Corn Sweat looks good as Superman. I think his Clark Kent looks enough different.
Yeah. They look like different people.
Right?
His Clark Kent, Terrence, his Clark Kent looks like Tony Khan to me. And I can't. Thank you.
It's that fucking hair, no?
It's the hair, yo. It's the hair. It's the glasses.
It looks like he got a man unit.
Oh, the dude from AEW? Oh.
Yeah,
yes.
the fucking...
And I can't unsee it. So
you know what? That's pretty good.
They do a very good job of making Clark Kent look way different than Superman.
Yeah. So I like that. I like Corn Sweat looks good. And so we get glimpses of Lois and Jimmy Olsen. It's weird that they didn't immediately kill Jimmy Olsen in this. I know that's a thing.
I actually like the fact that I like Rachel Brosnahan. Love the Marvelous Miss Maisel. So like her being Clark Kent, like Clark Kent or Lois Lane.
It's a good choice.
Perfectly fine with that. Yeah.
Yep. Like you see Pa Kent, that like that's cool. Like that guy's a good actor. We get Crypto, which is cool. Micah, you and I were talking about this earlier.
You're not a dog person, Micah. So what did you think about Crypto being in
there? Look.
He cried.
He likes animals. Okay, I get it. I'm the outlier. I don't like animals.
He's a vegetarian
because they stink and they're needy and they have fleas and they eat their own vomit. But like whatever, I'm the weirdo because I don't like that shit. Fine.
You have 2 kids. What's the difference?
That's an investment. Okay, they're gonna grow up and be able to take care of me eventually. Maybe if I'm good to them.
You better do right by them kids. God damn it! They won't.
By the way, notice Micah didn't dismiss any of those comparisons to a dog. He just said they were.
Yeah, he really did.
I'm very aware.
Those are investments.
I'm very aware, especially one of them. But look, I get it, right? Like, people like dogs. Dogs are cute, and it was adorable. He was like, "Help me, boy!" Right, and he did. I don't want this to be the Crypto show, yo. If this is all of Crypto that we see, I'm perfectly fine with that. Crypto needs to keep his ass in the Fortress of Solitude and wait for me to come home and feed him his kibbles and bits or whatever the fuck dogs.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't want it to become the goats for the win, like in Thor.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Like, don't do that. Yeah, like you got one scene, like one adorable scene. That's cool, no problem. I got no problem with that. Otherwise, you are a companion at best. Like that's it. I'm walking around the Fortress of Solitude in my ice slippers, and you're walking around hanging out with me. That's cool. Like, there's no problem. No problem. I got no problem with that. Like, so overall, I really loved the trailer. I thought it was great. The nice thing is you get to see, like, it's clear that Gunn understands what the criticisms of Cavill's Superman was, right? Which is you never got to see him doing just non-fighting human heroics, like big style human heroics. And so really the first time you see him in an action sequence is he's saving a kid. Like, which is the most fundamental Superman thing of all time. So
I like how this trailer opens because one of the big complaints about Superman, he's lame because like nothing can hurt him. So what's the first thing they do? They show him beat the fuck up, right, doing the Yamcha pose and shit. And,
I saw that meme on Facebook.
Yeah, and they're like, and that is to let you know, like, hey, Superman can be hurt, guys. Like, just because you don't read Superman doesn't mean that Superman is fucking lame, right? Yes, Superman can be hurt. And the first thing you see is him bloodied and defeated, and he needs his dog to come help him, right? Like that should tell you that this Superman isn't your typical, like, what people think Superman is, just like a cheat code, right? And the next thing you see him do as Superman is, like you said, jump in front of something exploding and saving a child. That right there bought me my ticket.
Yep.
Because that's what I want to see. I want to see a good person do good things. Plus, I'm a sucker for kids, right? Like, so if you like, I see a guy saving a kid, I'm like, all right, bro, like, you can come to the cookout, for one time.
Have a take
one time. It depends on how many kids you save. Is directly proportional to how many times you get to come.
That's fair.
That's it. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just it's a smart move. And then immediately you see you get to see Lex Luthor. I think Nicholas Hoult looks good.
Looks great.
Yeah, he does.
Didn't he? I heard he actually was trying to get trying to be Superman.
Yeah, he also went out for Batman
too. For Superman and Batman.
Yeah,
so that might make him better, right? Like he wanted to be Superman, and now
the level of like actual human jealousy So yeah, you're gonna like fucking bring it on that role. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So they've been saying that this is based on like All-Star Superman, and the Lex Luthor there is what people call Sexy Lexi, where he's very big on like he hates Superman because he had to work so hard to get what he has, and he feels like Superman just like, oh, you didn't have to work for anything, you were given things. Like you don't know the value of hard work. Right. And there's one scene where Clark Kent is interviewing him while he's working out. Right.
Yeah, like, I love that scene.
That scene is a good scene because it so perfectly encapsulates like the little dick energy versus the big dick energy. Yeah. And it's those two and the smartest guy in the room doesn't know that his nemesis is literally right there and could like throw him through a wall if he was that type of guy. But like, that's the point. He's not that type of guy. Right. Whereas Lex Luthor is like, it's not like Superman's not hard, but just because he's not hard doesn't mean he's not interesting.
Yeah, no, I think it's just a matter of truly understanding what that character is supposed to be. And we have not gotten a person in live action directing him since, I would argue, since Christopher Reeve.
79? Right.
That quite literally understood him. That quite literally understands him. I mean, I think Brandon Routh, that J.J. Abrams movie, I'm not a fan of it, right? It's got some really cool things, but it was trying so much to be a mimic of the originals, right? Like, because it's supposed to be this, sort of spiritual sequel. It was doing too much of a mimic instead of creating its own version of the mythos, which I think like maybe he could have done something really interesting if he wasn't just trying to make a copy. Look, it still has by far
Bryan Singer, by the way.
Oh, excuse me, Bryan Singer. You're right. But it's that was a really missed opportunity. But I do stand by that has the best teaser trailer of a Superman movie of all time. It just does, like, even better than this one. And I love this one, but the Superman Returns one was just fucking ridiculously good. Because they literally pulled audio from the originals. But yeah, so far so good.
So I saw people complaining about the red shorts. Look, man,
shut up.
You complain about the red short. You complain about a guy wearing red shorts, but you don't complain about him wearing tights to begin with, and you don't complain about him like frolicking in a cape. Like what? You need something to break that up. You got to break that up, yo. You got to break that up. You can't have a jumper on, yo. You can't walk around in a onesie and like it's romper room with a cape on, yo. Like you got to break that up. That's weird. Like wearing all denim, right? Like you can't. A Canadian tuxedo looks horrible. Don't wear all denim on top, denim on bottom. Like it just is weird, right?
Brad, don't do that.
And I saw people complaining about the music. It should be different. Oh, you're just banking on nostalgia, right? Because they're using the one piece of music that is intrinsically linked to this character, right? Nah, yo, that's bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's kind of like a perfect fucking theme song, too.
It is, yo. Like, it's so funny.
If it wasn't, they wouldn't be using it for the last 45 years.
There is no comic book character that has a theme song besides maybe Spider-Man, and they don't really use that one like Spider. Like they don't like.
Batman is very close with Danny Elfman. Batman is very close.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's still not John Williams Superman. Right.
Like that. Yeah. It's funny because both Mike and I have seen the like Movie Bob did a whole thing. Talking about this like right before the trailer came out, like the day before, and he was making a lot of points that you and I were making offline. That Superman theme song by John Williams is so good that when you play it in other movies and other TV shows, it symbolizes a character doing good things. It is a heroic theme song. That's how powerful that song is. like, look, I didn't mind. I actually quite liked the Man of Steel theme. Like, I liked it. I think it's really, really good.
I don't remember.
But exactly. But like, that's exactly the point.
I remember Wonder Woman's theme song.
Yes. Now, like that one, like I kind of feel like don't change that one. That's really good. Yeah. Like because it kind of really is, right? But this one, that Williams score is pitch fucking perfect. And if you go and like, you can find it on Spotify. I know because it's in my workout mix. Like it's out there. But if you go and listen to just the regular, like it's like, I think it's called like the title march or whatever, that's fine. But you have to listen to the track that's called Prelude and Title March, because it's like, it's the beginning of the movie where it's like going through space and all that other shit. And then it's kind of low. And then you hear the like bump it up, like you hear the drums and then it fucking goes into it. It's iconic for a reason. And Movie Bob made this point, and I actually 100% agree with it. If I'm Warner Brothers, I'm like, oh, cool, you want to make a Superman movie? Yeah, that's great. This song will be in it. Like, we're not having a fucking conversation. If you want to make this movie, you could do a whole the rest of the soundtrack can be whatever the fuck you want. This has to be in it because it is iconic to that character. If you don't know anything else about comic book movies, you know two things. You know Superman's origin story, and you know that fucking song. I don't give a fuck where you are in the world. You know like, somebody plays it, you're like, oh, it's a Superman thing. Everybody knows it. My wife don't watch comic movies like that. You turn on, she's like, oh yeah, Superman. Everybody knows that fucking theme music. What's the Flash theme music? Right?
I've seen people make this point. I've seen people make this point that's like, to all you people who are like, oh, well, it's a new actor playing the character. It should be different. It should be, a different theme. The James Bond theme.
I was about to say, James Bond has been the same. Right.
He has been recast and rebooted, and it's still the same theme because that theme is iconic. It goes with that character. That character owns a piece of music, man.
Yeah.
So
it'd be weird to start a James Bond movie out without that music. Can you imagine them making a James Bond music or movie and be like, nah, we're just not going to include it? Why?
Right. Just did a James Bond theme with the Chemical Brothers or some shit. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you? Like, what is this, nigga? What?
I mean, I want to hear that, but that I don't need that.
I automatically don't like this movie. It would automatically lose a star, right?
Yeah,
you're a huge fucking James Bond buff, Mike. You'd be like, what the fuck was that? I don't like none of this.
Look. They have their own individual opening themes for each movie, and the Madonna one. As soon as I heard Madonna, bam, star and a half gone. What the fuck is this?
Star and a half. Wow.
Damn. I got 3.5. Fuck out of here.
In fairness, like that movie was as good as the theme song. Not. Pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, the idea that it has to change. Yeah, the James Bond argument is the perfect argument. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it literally does it. You can have
the Rocky theme. The Rocky theme. The Rocky theme was so good they played that shit in Creed.
It's like the other guy, it's the white guy. Like, nah, don't matter. It don't matter.
Don't worry about it.
But again, you hear that fucking song, and you're like, that's the Rocky thing. You could play that shit anywhere in the world, and people will be like, yeah, that's Rocky. I mean, there are some themes that are just that good. They just are.
Yeah.
And Superman is one of them. So I'm sorry, man. Like, I know this is sort of it's a bit of a more rock and roll kind of version of it, but it's still like fundamentally it's still that song. My guess is you get the original one in the movie. Like,
I think it will be the motif throughout I think the melody of the song will be the motif throughout the film. And I think at the end you get the orchestral version. Right, the traditional orchestral version, and that's the one. I mean, that's gonna be my Captain America picking up Mjolnir moment.
Yeah,
like hearing that music, and I'm telling you, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
And it's so funny because that idea of this song is tied so much to like heroism and everything else. That's why when they bastardized it in what was it? that fucking, what was it, Justice League, whatever the one it was, when he comes back to life, right?
Yeah.
And they did that, like, the sort of evil version of that song. It never set right with me. I fucking hated that because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Pick another song, right? But not that song, because that song has a very specific feel to it. Like, it's one of those songs where, like, you just hear it and you know, like, all right, like, you know the hero, even though he's been knocked down a bunch, even though he's bloody and asking for his dog to take him home, you hear that theme music, you know, like, here comes the recovery, right? Like, that's when that moment happens, right? So, yeah, I just don't, I never understood, like, stepping away from that theme. Like, why? And, like, to Gunn's credit, he gets that. But yeah, like, let's talk quickly about, or it doesn't have to be that quick, but we get to see the other heroes, right? We get to see Baltimore's own Guy Gardner dressed like he's working down at the fucking docks. That haircut is
I love it. I love it, yo.
They're going all in. I appreciate that.
I mean, they've kind of done away with that haircut in more current Green Lantern issues, but nah, yo, like, this is an older Guy Gardner. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, let him have that weird ass haircut, man. I love it. I'm personally interested to get a glimpse of what these Green Lanterns can do. Yes. I don't think anybody else gives a shit, but I do. You're not on this show. I am. Fuck you. Mr. Terrific. Look, all you ballards out there, God. You jump on the Mr. Terrific train now, because he's gonna be your new fave, and you're gonna see a bunch of black dudes cosplaying as Mr. Terrific, because Mr. Terrific is he's the type of he's like the third or fourth smartest person in all of DC, right? And he is the same, like, Olympic level athlete and shit. Like, he's on par with Batman. He's like Batman and Reed Richards, right? Like, because he's very tech minded. He's got like 15 PhDs or some dumb shit, right? Like, he's hyper logical. And Jay, Terrence, you'll appreciate this, he's kind of an atheist.
Oh, well, he's my favorite character.
Yeah.
But he like, his wife they were in an argument about religion, because his wife was very religious, and he was like, the fuck you going to this? Don't give 10% of our income to the fucking church. What the fuck are you doing? Right? And she's like, I'm late for church. I'm getting out of here. And she got off in a huff, and she got in a car accident, and she passed away. And he blames himself.
What happens when you go to church?
I mean, that's
the moral of the story is
never go to church. Yeah. If she was going to brunch, she would have made a left instead of a right. She'd be still here. See? Right. With some eggs.
So he's always had, like, this kind of, like, hatred for, not hatred, but, like, he's a smart guy, and, like, that shit just don't make sense to smart people.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Finish the line. Like you said, Green Goblin. Finish it. It's hatred for what? Say it.
He's not a fan of religion, because he got his wife killed.
He's not a fan. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, yeah. But look, Mr. Terrific is dope, yo. And I know, like, a lot of people don't really know who the hell that is, but he was in some of them Justice League cartoons, and yeah, that's gonna be a character that people like. Hawk Girl, look, I'm not I don't really give a fuck about Thanagarians. I just want to, but I do like tough women, and I hope that this character is as tough as she has been portrayed in other media.
She looks good. Like, the design, I think, is
she does. Yeah, she does look good, and it looks.
This is a chick from Alien Romulus. Sorry, I think she was also one fucking.
Oh, is that right? The main woman?
No, that's the one with the scream queen in that, the one that was pregnant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They put her through the fucking ringer in that movie.
Yeah, they did.
But like, yeah, that was unfortunate. I like her as an actress.
Yeah, she was good. I enjoyed that movie. Yeah, look, we get a quick shot of Metamorpho as well, which is dope. It'll be interesting to see how that character is portrayed in this movie. Certainly not a character we've seen live action. We do get a little bit of Superman taking on what is being reported as a clone of his, like Ultraman.
Ultraman.
Yeah. But made as a clone. So this may be almost like a Bizarro Superman type of thing. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, look, so an interesting theory that's been floated, which I like this theory. I don't know if it'll be turn out to be true, is that, because like the universe, all of these characters already exist, right? Like Creature Commandos is happening at the same time as all of this. Like Frankenstein exists. The Bride of Frankenstein exists. They're all fucking monsters. Weasel exists. And like a mer woman and all this other shit. And like a robot who fought Nazis in World War II. Like all of that stuff is long established. So the world is just used to superheroes. So it's kind of nice you're coming into a world that's already established instead of being like, oh, our first superhero is Superman. What do we do? Right. But they're all kind of corporately influenced or corporate owned, right? Which is why Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl are dressed the same, if you notice. And again, it's theory. And the idea is that when Superman arrives, he is different than all of them, and that he's like, we just do good to do good. And he sends kind of a shockwave through the entire universe because he comes off as very different than everyone else. He is not attached to anyone else. He is just being a hero for hero's sake. And that has what I assume will be massive influence over the other heroes who are like, oh shit, like this guy might be right. Right. So, and maybe that's the reason why we're seeing Stag Industries and Luther Core and everything else. Like, what is those companies' connections to those heroes? And, him coming in and influencing the other heroes to kind of leave those and just be independent. I mean, there's if I recall, there were like shots of like a Hall of Justice, like spy shots. So it may be that they start to form a Hall of Justice with all these heroes being like their own people by the end of it, which would be interesting. James Gunn making a movie that's like anti-corporations. Just kind of fascinating in and of itself. For Warner Brothers. Okay. You do the best. Maybe they won't figure that part out. But yeah, I like that theory. Like I like the theory that he comes in and he affects the world instead of creating it, which is kind of dope. So we shall see. Any other thoughts?
Look, I'm super excited. It's gonna be like I want to see a trailer with some dialogue more than just like "take me home, boy." I'm very curious to see how what people sound like, how they speak. But no, man, look, I'm excited. It's something new. It's something fresh. You know what I mean? And it's something that I think if you're going to keep making these comic book movies, like quality's got to stay up there. The quality's got to keep getting better and better and better. Right.
Yep.
Like, you can't, and that doesn't necessarily mean like budget's got to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Right. You got to, but you do have to make some quality stuff. Otherwise everyone's going to get burnt out on it and say that you peaked at Endgame or whatever. Right. And yeah, look, I want this to succeed, man. I really do. So we'll see.
I mean, I think it's good for Marvel, honestly. I think having legitimate competition,
actual competition,
like, and it'll make them push. I mean, look, I think
Cap for a better product.
Yeah, I mean, competition is good. I mean, look, I think Cap 4 looks good. I really do. I think legitimately it does. But I would love to live in a world where these two fucking behemoths are just like going back to back, trying to like outdo each other, and they're just both making like top quality shit. Like this idea of like you got to pick one team. No, I'm on team entertainment. That's what I'm on. Like, just make something that's fucking fun. I don't have like, oh, I like DC or Marvel. What, dude? I'm excited as fuck to see this movie. Are you kidding me? Like, just as much as I'm excited to see Cap, I'm excited to see this. Probably more this, but because I want to see what Gunn does. But at the same time, like having these two big companies fighting it out for my dollars. Look, guess what? We're all winners because you're all getting my money. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, don't matter.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I want this. I really want this to be good. Like I said, when I texted you guys, like I was amazed by what I saw. Like I said, the only issue is like there's just so many fucking characters that I don't even know who these people are. Like if they're gonna teach me who they are in the movie, but like how long is this movie gonna be?
Just under 2.5 hours. It's just under 2.5 hours. That's what's being reported. So, and that doesn't mean like that could mean like, you know, just under 2.5 hours until you hit credits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like so included. We're not doing an origin story. We know who Superman is. Like everyone on the planet knows who Superman is at this point. But it's just this is the first movie outside of Creature Commanders. That's just a show. This is the first movie in the universe. They're throwing a lot at you. I'm just like, there's a lot going on in this trailer with no dialogue. But it just looks good. I can't wait to see it. Like you said, like competition breeds like better products. And honestly, Marvel has been kind of missing all over the last couple of years because Endgame was the peak, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. And hopefully this is good because like I've never been a big Superman guy, but like this makes me interested. I want to see what James Gunn does because I like his work. I just want to see what he does.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I do like Superman, but I agree with you. That's the biggest part.
He's kind of knocked it out of the park. Like Superman's fine, but I just want to see what he does with Superman. Yeah, and what I've seen in this trailer, you already sold me, or whatever the hell. And I like Man of Steel. Rest of it,
I do too. Yeah, look. Everyone who's like, "Oh, Henry Cavill wasn't the problem." In that, in those movies, I don't think any of the I don't think all but one of the actors was a problem. All but two of the actors weren't the problem. It was the stuff that they were given, and look, most of those actors weren't. I like Henry Cavill, but he's not exactly the strongest actor. He can't elevate material.
Right.
You know what I mean? 39-year-old Michael Shannon was pretty good. He was 39 years old at the time, guys.
That's so weird, man. I thought he was
so funny. He looked like he was 55 years old. But anyway.
So they weren't the problem. It was the material. And look, I don't even blame Zack Snyder, right? Like you can't hire a leopard and then be mad when he eats your face off, right? Like you hire Zack Snyder, he gonna do Zack Snyder shit,
right?
You know what I mean? Like it comes down to Warner.
But that movie came out 12 years ago. He wasn't completely Zack Snyder yet, you know.
Not yet, but that was it.
But like, they gave him the reins.
That's why. Yeah. That's why Man of Steel is the best one. Yeah. They were like, honestly. "Oh, hey, you nailed it. Do whatever you want. Just make us more money."
And then he was like, "Oh shit!
Oh, for real? A word? Okay."
You know, it's funny. I've been thinking about that. Like, why are people so connected to Henry Cavill and what in the Snyder universe? And I think I figured it out. It's a testament to how powerful the character of Superman is. Right? Because nobody's like, bring back, Ben Affleck and the Snyder. That's not, and like, Affleck was a pretty good Batman, actually. Like, like, he looked the fucking part and all that other shit. But that's not who they talk about. They always talk about Cavill. And it's because that character of Superman is that powerful in comic book lore. It's like, Like you just get so, even if that's a universe that you like and everyone else doesn't like, that is the character that you focus on. And that to me is a real testament to how powerful that character is. So I don't know if those people will ever be like, will allow themselves to enjoy another version of Superman. I think that's really fucking pathetic, frankly. Just like go and enjoy a movie, you fucking weirdos. Get off that guy's dick. But if you allowed yourself to actually enjoy it and go in with an open mind and be like, all right, this is going to be different than Zack Snyder's thing. Like his is rainy and dark and sad. And then this one is a bright, more sort of comic accurate, I would argue. Look at the character. You might actually have a good time. But don't come in with this preconceived notion that it has to be like Snyder's. That is not what Superman is for the last, 75 fucking years. It just isn't. He's the deviation from the formula. Like Gunn isn't. So I don't know. It feels very weird to me that a lot of people, that's what Superman is like to them. Like just watch the Superman animated series, bro. Like that's not even correct. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. I think that's it for us. We will be back next year, actually, as I think about that. So,
Fucking super.
Thank you.
Very
wearing underwear on the outside. And I'm very concerned about it. So we will be back.
Stop looking at Superman.
Didn't he say he like James Gunn brought up the point that like Superman is incredibly powerful. He can do basically whatever the fuck he wants. And he's kind of a scary person. So he said he dresses up like a wrestler to make kids feel better about them. So to make kids feel a little bit less scary.
Yeah,
that's why he's got this fucking
silly
underpants over his tights.
Because he looks silly. And
you
like know what wrestlers,
the Hitman Heart, only not in pink and black.
You know what wrestlers did that originally is because when they wore like tights and no briefs over them, they would split. You know, if they're doing moves, if the tights split, then your ass cheeks are hanging out, right? And nobody wants to see classy Freddie Blassie's ass cheeks. That's not classy at all, right? So they put on the trunks over top of it just in case. Right now,
you can't have Stone Cold Steve Austin out there with his yeeks out. Like that's crazy.
But Stone Cold didn't wear anything. But like Stone Cold did the Mike Tyson,
the
black trunk plaid fucking
Or like later in his career, I'm just gonna wear jorts. Like fuck y'all, jorts and a knee brace
and a knee brace, right? Because I'm
two
old,
knee braces.
Fuck that.
Yeah, two knee
right.
Yeah. So it's yeah. I think this movie has a potential to be something really special. I would love, by the way, a scene. And I don't want them showing any trailers, but I would love to see a scene of Superman talking to Kid off a ledge who is about to commit suicide, because that's a very powerful moment in the comics of like him just like talking to a kid like, hey man, like this isn't worth it. Kid's like, you're right, Superman, like thanks, and then he just flies away.
Look at me, I wear my underwear on the outside and I put them in the wash with my cape. That's why they red. I'm a dork. Superman's a dork, guys. Yeah, like he is. But so are you. Because you're arguing about a fictional character wearing his underwear on the outside.
Feels weird.
That's a goddamn shame.
Oh, I can't wait for this fucking movie. All right. That is it for us, guys. We will see you guys next year. Sometime in the first week of January, whatever day that is that we record. But we will let people know in the Discord and stuff when we're coming back exactly. Have a good holiday. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you guys next time.
See you.
Take it easy.
Bye.